What's up? It's Ryle. Welcome back to our Lucas reviews. I have tried to post my reviews, reactions to With Love Meghan so many different times, and they are always blocked. I have tried trimming those suckers. I have tried disputing them, and they're just blocked. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go in again, redo these altogether different, and try this again with just stills from Netflix. So why am I doing this? Okay, now I need to recap. Okay. Meghan Markle released a lifestyle cooking show on Netflix called With Love Meghan. Why is this of interest to me? Well, because she's getting a lot of heat online on YouTube. She's getting slammed. They're saying it's a failure, she's fake, all of the things. So, me being who I am, I want to know firsthand, and I want to put my 5 cents in on my thoughts, right? So I was like, let me check this out because I definitely love cooking and, let's see what's going on. So I'm going to start with Hello Honey, which is the first episode of what's going to be a 2-season series. Hello Honey, first episode, Meghan's friend Daniel Martin comes over to visit, and she creates this really cutesy guest basket for him. They make beeswax candles. She makes a honey cake, and she makes this one pot pasta. Okay, so let me give you my thoughts about this episode. First off, beautiful setup. Everything about the show, just in general, throughout all of the episodes, look really aesthetically pleasing. Meghan is pretty as always, but just the way that it's done, even down to her calligraphy. And I call her handwriting calligraphy because I feel like that's the level of intent and purpose she's putting behind drawing out all of her words, but down to the smallest detail. Everything is really, really pretty. Okay, so Daniel was her makeup artist on Suits. So he comes over and he's staying at her house. She's not actually filming at her house, and everyone, wants to have a tizzy about that because a lot of people actually just want to be up in her business. They don't actually want to see what she's doing. So they want to see her with her kids and Harry and all of this stuff. And I mean, get over it. I personally, her renting a place to film, for me, is no different than a YouTuber who rents a separate apartment for their YouTube channel, be it a cooking channel or whatever else. People do this. It's not abnormal. Some parts of the show are filmed at her actual home though. So like the beehive, when they go to her beehive, parts where she's picking berries in her garden, to my understanding, those are actually on her property, but she keeps her house and her kids largely out of the way. She's away from her home. Okay, so back to this. So she starts by creating this salt jar for like a salt bath. It's pretty basic though. It's Epsom salt, pink Himalayan salt, the arnica oil, which people were like, oh, she's putting essential oil. If you can look at this oil and tell that it already has a carrier oil added to it. It's okay. It's okay. So I've already caught like a lot of people just straight lying on episode 1 already out the gate. So she gives him this, she does this really cool thing with dried Indian corn that I thought was really cool because I never thought to do it. She puts it in the brown paper bag, the whole cob of corn, and pops it in the microwave. She puts truffle oil on it. I'm a fan of truffle oil. I love truffle oil for grilled cheese sandwiches. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I personally don't know anyone who dislikes truffle oil. So I was like, truffle oil and truffle salt on the popcorn, like it, will give it a try because I love popcorn. And I also thought it was really cute how you just pop the whole cob. That would be excellent for kids. And that's exactly what she said, because my mind went straight to the kids in my family. Like, how cool is that? They would immediately be like, oh, it's popped corn, Okay, so she does that. She has this little like rustic wood tray that I thought was absolutely adorable. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So what she's doing essentially is just creating these little things that she thinks Daniel's gonna like. So she puts some combos in there. She calls them peanut butter pretzels. I call them combos because that's kind of like they were like combos. Nothing special in the first part of this. That's just what she's creating for him to have at his best side. And the whole thing is like thoughtfulness. You have someone staying at your house. Like, how do you want, what do you want for them to have for bath time or on the side of the bed for snacks? Cool. I get it. Then they show us her, she goes with the beekeeper to the bee box, and they're kind of just talking through how she really doesn't handle the bees because she's afraid. Makes sense to me. They, I guess, harvest the honey, and then she tells us throughout that she didn't used to actually like honey, kind of the same way. I'm not really big into honey. I would rather just like, let's tap a tree and get some maple. If we're talking about natural sweeteners, I'm more of a maple girl. But anyway, they do the honey thing, and she's like, even though she doesn't like honey, she appreciates how it's created with the bees and everything, and I thought that was cool. Then we see her using this honey and the honey wax all throughout the rest of this episode, which I absolutely love. Like, use all of it, use all of the thing, because those little bees are working their butts off. So there's honey and beeswax throughout this episode. Perfect. Okay, so she does this thing when he comes over. Crudité, y'all. Crudité. I'm a big foodie. I like good food. Meghan Markle has a different crudité for every day. I feel like homegirl just wakes up and she's like, what crudité am I gonna make today? I've never in my life seen someone so like, every day is a crudité day. I'm not with it. It's not appetizing, but we're going to move on. She makes crudité, and it's all about presentation, really. It's just the way that she's plating everything, making it just so she's letting us know in episode 1 that this is really about just not necessarily the thing that you're creating being like the best thing in the world, but you presenting it, adding extra value to it. Like, it could just be something simple, but you can present it in a way where it elevates it, like she says. I wasn't on board with the crudité, but we're going to move on to this one pot pasta. She does this one pot pasta thing with like garlic, onions, Swiss chard. I think some kale was in there, spaghetti, cherry tomatoes from the garden, and then a freaking whole lemon zest. So Daniel gets his little butt over there to the doggone stove and decides that he's gonna zest up a lemon. I thought that he was just gonna do some zest, a little bit of zest. He puts an entire zest of a whole entire lemon in this pasta. And this really aggravated me when I was watching it, because I'm just watching the lemon zest add up. And lemon zest for me is like really strong. The oils from a lemon, it's like really strong. And there's nothing in this pasta dish that's combating the acidity. So I was like, this don't look good to me either. It don't. I would never do that. But they did it. Whole lemon zested up in the pasta dish. She said that, she would put the pasta in the kids' lunch boxes, and I didn't understand that, because I guess that's rich people things, because where I'm from, you don't your little goobs go to school, you better put something in the lunchbox that they can eat cold, like sandwiches or whatnot, because ain't nobody heating pasta up for the goobs. So the pasta dish was not appetizing. Neither was the crudité. But I did enjoy watching her make the beeswax candles. They use the wax to make beeswax candles with essential oils in there for fragrance. And then they make a honey cake. And then she also makes this honey lemon. By the time I got to the end of episode 1, I was so sick of lemon. Like, if I never see, I hope lemon doesn't happen again. And she did mention something about having a lot of citrus from the trees that they have to like give it away. They don't have a lot to, they have so much they don't know what to do with. And I guess I don't know if that's why everything just had so much lemon, but there's not a lot of like sugar or cream to offset the acidity. It was just overwhelming for me. So we get to this naked honey cake, and it's like a Victoria cake. It's just iced on the inside and naked around the edges. It's like a spring cake, something that I used to do before I learned how to actually ice a cake really good. Icing. Learn how to ice a cake properly where it's nice and smooth. Just leave the edges bare. I hate that now. I want icing on the edge. But anyway, she uses her preserves, which I do intend to buy. I want to try them. She uses her, not preserves, I think she says a spread, because a jam, well, I'm calling them preserves. She says they're not a jam because jam is like half fruit, half sugar, and she took the sugar all the way down. So this is another note. She is letting us know right off the rip that she is very, very into healthy eating. So she's not doing a lot of sugar. She's not doing... She's not doing a lot of fatty things, a lot of fried things, but the food just wasn't appetizing to me. So then we get to the cake. She uses her preserves with the buttercream. I wish she would have shared her recipe for the buttercream. But she does that, and she swirls it in a way where when you cut the cake, the buttercream and the preserves are like checkered. They have a nice, cute little design. And then they go outside and they sit outside in the beauty of Montecito, and they enjoy their lemon honey ginger tea, and their lemon honey cake. And that was the end of episode 1. Okay, so my thoughts. If this is going to be a cooking show, the food was not appetizing. Although you can have, in my opinion, you can have healthy foods. You can have foods that are lighter, more fresh, but still be interesting and actually, make you want to eat them. It could just be because I don't like a lot of I'm not really big on honey, and I'm not really big on lemon, but the food wasn't appetizing to me. I did enjoy the part about the popcorn, but that was pretty much it. I felt like, okay, it was enough in episode 1 to get me interested in episode 2. But that's it. In terms of like, people are like, oh, she's so fake. I really didn't feel that coming through on episode 1. I do think that she genuinely likes to do what she's doing. I think she likes learning. I don't at all think that she's some kind of grand chef. I think that she's learning and she's enjoying it, and she likes the meticulous bits about it, like getting everything just so and making it look really pretty. I would not be surprised if Meghan Markle, if you're into zodiac, wouldn't be surprised if she had Virgo, Cancer, and maybe a little bit of Libra running up and through her chart, because it's there. I know that she's a Leo sun, but I'm just saying. So yeah, I think she's really big on just the presentation of it all, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, that's it. I am going to film another one for episode 2, because we do hit some bump in the roads here. But I'll share that with you. If you watch this show, Leave your comments down below. I do plan to watch the entire season and go back and watch season 2. So contrary to all of her haters out there, and don't get me wrong, I am not a Sussex Squad person. I'm not a Meghan fan, nor am I a detractor. I don't really feel strongly about her either way. I just don't like it when people are unfairly criticizing someone for reasons that have nothing to do with what the person is actually doing at the current time. Like currently, she's giving us lifestyle and cooking, and you're over here talking about her relationship with her dad and when she was a kid and why she's not, like her kids and all, has nothing to do with the price of tea in China right now. I want to critique the show for what it is and put that honest dialogue out here so that people who may actually be interested can know the truth. Okay? All right. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.